Chapter 9, working on this guy right there. That's our F-22 Raptor by Hasegawa. So, let's get started, shall we? Alright guys, well, it's been about an hour. It's really hasn't been a long time since my last episode. I just finished cleaning up I cleaned up my airbrush, but it's time to put it back together and get ready, because we're going to continue painting. We're going to be painting this guy here. Bingo, our F-22. You guys saw this in the last chapter where I painted the gray. It's been about an hour and we're ready to do our, I guess you call it the camouflage pattern on the F-22. It's similar to what you'd see on almost every F-15, at least every F-15C anyway, is the dark gray patterns that you see on our surfaces there on the top. Okay, we see that all the time, and yeah, we're going to do that. It's going to be quick. It's not going to take forever. I don't have any masking to do. I'm just going to do it freehand. Okay, so I'm just going to put this over here for now. Okay, while we do that, it's only going to be on that top surface and on a couple of our wings and stuff, right? We got to do them all. We do all of them here, right? Okay, so I'm not doing any templates. The only thing I've got to reference for exactly where it's going to be is the old model that I built years ago. Here, I'm going to reference this as far as where I need to go. The way I painted this one years ago is I actually took the instruction manual and I went to photocopier and I blew up the images until these matched our tail fins in the size. I don't remember what the percentage was way back then. We're talking like 5 years ago, something like that. No, maybe 4 years ago, around there anyway. I don't remember exactly what the percentage was that I had to increase the size on this to get it to match. Anyway, that's what I did. Got the pictures out and then I cut out the little patterns, and then I laid them down on here and I sprayed it with spray bomb. Okay, just a rattle can, and that's how I got these. So I can use this as a life-size reference for this new one, and I can spray, now that I have an airbrush, because back then I didn't even have an airbrush. I can use these as my template to see just exactly what size they need to be when I actually paint on this and paint them. Okay, so that is what I'm going to be doing. All right, and that's the whole purpose of this, and that's why I've got this guy laid out here, so that I can go, okay, I need to go here and do this right here, and we'll do that. So that's what I'm going to be doing. So now, as for what color am I using? According to the book, we want our dark pattern to be, where is the line that shows what color this is supposed to be? Right here, 317 at 50% and the SM03 at 50. So the 317 and the SM03, I have XF87 and iron, so that is going to be this pre-mixed paint right here. Okay, XF87 and gunmetal is what I've used to get our darker color. Okay, so let's make sure this is mixed up nicely. I'm going to double check on this just to make sure it is thin enough to spray. I'm not sure. It does look pretty thin, so I might be okay. I might be all right with my spraying. Don't think I have to thin it out any. So let's put some in my airbrush. Actually does look a little bit thick, so I'm just going to pour this back out. It does seem to be just a little bit thick, so I'm going to add a little bit of thinner to it. Just regular old lacquer thinner. Just a little bit. if you happen to thin it a little too much, if you get more than, say more than 60% thinner, it's not the end of the world. It doesn't really do much. All it does is make it so that you have to lay it down more layers and lay it down thicker to get it to actually cover it. That's the only difference. Okay. So, airbrush has been filled up. Let's just clean up this lip here. Okay. So, I will bring my camera over here so we can see what I'm doing. And this should be good here. Yeah, there we go. Okay. So, just do a little test spray here. Pretty good. All right. So, I want to have this facing the same direction so I can see on here where I need to go. And go in close and very lightly to give myself an idea of what I need to do. Okay. So I want to come like this, and move around. Just one spray. There we go. I'm not getting proper spray. Once I have the basic pattern laid out, once you get the pattern laid out, I can go heavier on the trigger. There we go. So that's basically this one. I'll do this second one now. I'm going to put our tail fin on just so that I have a reference of where that's going to sit. Come here. Just to give me the idea of where this is supposed to go. That's that one. So I can fill this in now. You can get me a better idea of what this is going to look like. smoothing up the edges. I can tighten them up if really how I feel like. Okay, so there's that one. Okay, I can do the same thing on this. Tighten them upper edges. We can sometimes you need to give it a little blast to convince it to spray. As I want to get in there just to get more coverage. Get a little bit of dust on there. Okay. So there we go. There's our patterns there. Okay, so let's move on to our center spine. Kind of comes across here, does this. Okay, so I want to go forward. This, down. Up, back down. So we go towards the back here. And we're going to end right about there. Basically how this one's going to look. So pull back a little further on the trigger so we get some coverage, smoothing out our edge a little bit, make our pattern a little more tight. Go. So, next. Similar thing on here, except this guy is one pattern that goes all the way here. So, we're going to go up to this edge here. This. Here. This coming down. This. All the way down through here. basically our pattern there. Okay, so again, pulling back on the trigger a little more to get a little bit more spray. We will clean up our edge a little bit. I'm going to have to go over this with another coat to get the coverage I want. And I don't want this perfectly straight here. That's it. We don't have any that's going to go here. That's going to be it for this plane as far as our camo pattern. So we'll let that dry a little bit, and we're going to do a little more coverage on these. There we go. So that's that. So now we're going to do these guys. We're going to do our fins. Okay, this guy, we'll just put him over here for now. This one happens to be this guy here. I don't know if you see that on camera or not. Let's move him here for you. Okay, this guy here. Okay, we're going to do that. Okay, so just kind of mixing up, get a decent size here. This edge basically just comes down like this. That's basically our pattern. Okay, there's that one. Let's take a look at our other one here. Let's turn our plane around. Looks like basically the same pattern. Pretty much the same, right? Up here. Come down like this. Watch. Down. This is where artistic skill comes in, to be able to copy a paint pattern. I have a little, I would say I have a little bit of artistic skill, but I'm not super artistic. That one. Okay, so flipping them over and looking at the other side now, look at this. It's basically a triangular pattern with a little bit of a hook at the top. I'm actually going to grab my instructions here. We're basically looking at this one here. Okay. That's basically coming up almost to the top. But then kind of jut out like this and come down. Kind of like that pattern. Of course, the closer you get to your subject, the harder your line is going to be, and the more paint that's going to get put down in a very quick pattern. So there we go. That's pretty good. That's a reasonable facsimile. Flip this over and we got the other side, and it's basically the same thing. Basically, they got lazy on these ones. Okay, that's it. Done. Just making sure it's got coverage. And we're done. And that is it for the dark gray pattern on our aircraft. Okay, I'm just going to do a quick double check and make sure I've got enough coverage on here that I want. Middle. Yeah, that's good. All right. So switch my camera. Oh, I'm not done. I'm not done. I'm not done. Let's put these over to the side. Because I don't want to forget these guys. These ones only on the top. Okay? And not on the bottom. So, and in fact, when we look at this, this one actually continues over onto the actual plane. And that would be this guy here. Okay? So, what I'm actually going to do is install this one right here. Get that in there. There we go. Okay, so that I can get the pattern to actually continue on to here like it's supposed to. Okay, so there you go. Now, if you were wondering if there's really a left or a right on this, well, there definitely is now, because that goes on there like that. For our left side, this one doesn't really matter nearly as much to be attached on there, because this one just has a big funky shape like that on it, and that's it. Okay. Basically, kind of like that. I'll go a little higher on this side. Go. And that one's done. And that is the conclusion of this particular color. Okay, so that's it. Nice and quick and clean. That's going to be it for this particular episode, because the next step is a whole bunch of masking to get it ready for our third color. That's going to be going around a whole bunch of trim and stuff like that. So I wanted to get this done, just a real quick episode here to get this one done and prepared for the next step. Okay, so you can hit that like button, hit subscribe if you haven't already, please, and you can check out in the description box below some links to my Instagram and stuff like that. After every build I do, I take some pictures of it and I upload it onto my Instagram, so you can check those out too. And feel free to message me, to talk to me. This is live. You can talk to me live on here, and if not, just leave comments down below then. And yeah, thank you guys for watching. Thanks for all the support, and we will see you all in the next one.